Welcome to this week's 10 from TED. With the death of Iranian President Raisi, the world focused its attention on Iran, and I want to keep the focus there. And I'm going to do 10 items that the world should be focused on with respect to Iran, all of which require action. Number one is Iran's nuclear weapons program. The International Atomic Energy Agency just announced a 15% increase in the enrichment of uranium to a 60% level in Iran, 15% increase since February. That's just a short step away from 90% enrichment, which is the level used for nuclear weapons. Iran cannot be allowed to continue to move down this path, mocking the IAEA. It's time that the IAEA issue a censure against Iran, that this action be taken at its next meeting of the Board of Governors, and that the United States and our European allies lead the way in making sure that that happen. Secondly, the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard Corps in Iran, is a terror organization. It threatens Israel, it threatens the Middle East, and it threatens global security. It needs to be designated as the terror organization that it is. That is especially true at the European Union. We urge that action be taken. We are working across Europe and especially in Brussels to make sure that that important step is taken. Number three, the IRGC actively targets Jewish communities in Europe and around the world. And any strategy to protect Jewish communities in Europe where there have already been IRGC attacks can't succeed if they don't consider the IRGC. Again, we are working across Europe especially to elevate the awareness of the risk that the IRGC poses to Jewish communities across Europe. Number four, the IRGC continues to destabilize, and Iran continues to destabilize the Middle East. They do it in their support for militias in Syria and Iraq, and we need to continue to focus on that. Number five, they continue to support Hezbollah and the threat that Hezbollah poses to Israel in the north. 60,000 people are still displaced because of Hezbollah. We have to confront Iran-backed Hezbollah in pushing to ensure that they withdraw from the border, from the border area, so that Israelis can move back safely without that threat posed by them. Number six, Iran continues to support for Russia. It continues their support for Russia in its war against Ukraine. Iran sends ballistic missiles to Russia, drones to Russia. There needs to be a comprehensive approach to counter Russia's aggression that takes into account Iran's efforts. Number seven is the way that Iran continues to violate the human rights of its own citizens. Violence against women who are protesting, targeting of religious minorities. This needs to be a focus of the world as we stand against this Iranian repression. Number eight, the Iranian support for Hamas, first and foremost, has been too often left out of the story as Israel defends itself. Hamas and, as I said, Hezbollah are supported by Iran. And the hostages who continue to be held by Hamas are there with the support of Iran. The rocket attacks that Hamas continues to launch at Israel are launched with the support of Iran. It's vital that as we tell the story of Israel's self-defense in response to the attacks by Hamas, that the world continue to focus on Iran as well. Number nine, Iran's direct attack against Israel on April 13th, the first ever direct attack against Israel, firing over 300 drones and missiles at the Jewish state, needs to be confronted as well. And the way to do it is to draw a clear line between those countries who stand with Israel and the United States and the Abraham Accords countries on the one hand, and the countries and the terror organizations that Iran supported on the other. And finally, number 10, Iran's dangerous behavior around the world, projecting the IRGC's influence around the world. July 18th will mark 30 years since the bombing of the Amia Jewish Center in Buenos Aires. that killed 85 and injured over 300. That represents the deadliest terror attack in the history of Argentina. And the investigation found that Iran masterminded the attack and that Hezbollah carried it out. We demand justice for the victims of the terror attack in Buenos Aires. And I will look forward to representing AJC with our leadership at the 30th anniversary of that bombing in July. Those are 10 items about Iran that I wanted everyone to know. There is more below from our social media in recent days about the other issues that Israel is facing, the anti-Semitism around the world, the international efforts to delegitimize Israel. All of that is listed below. Thank you for tuning in. We'll look forward to getting another 10 from Ted out to you very soon. Thanks.